Do guarantees work in 2026? This is why we have guarantees, what the ultimate goal of a guarantee actually is, and this is how to build one in your agency that actually scales your agency instead of sinking it by getting all of these chargebacks and churn after 30 days of signing a client, right? If you don't know who I am, my name's Jordan. I've scaled 3 agencies to over 100K a month. I've done an SEO GEO agency to over 100K a month. I've done an AI implementation agency to over 200K a month. And my current full stack ecom agency is a team of 65. It does multiple 6 figures every single month, and that's sitting at around 400K a month as well. Now, the real job of a guarantee, like let's define what we're actually trying to do here with the guarantee, because we need to be super, super specific with what this is actually trying to do. What a guarantee does is it gets you more face time. What you are doing with a guarantee is you're optimizing your ads to get face time with your ICPs. Like the whole thing in one formula is if you have a guarantee, then your ICP's barrier goes down, which means they're going to book a call with you, which means you will have more face time with your ICP, which is where trust is established. So more face time equals more increased trust. More increased trust equals more deals closed. They have to like you. They have to trust that you can actually get the job done. And the only way to do that is with FaceTime and to have trust. More deals closed equals more MRR. More MRR equals more case studies and testimonials. The more case studies and testimonials you have, well, that equals easier closes. Easier closes equals more ad spend, which means you're scaling. More ad spend means you need to build a sales team. And if you have a sales team, then you're probably incredibly close to, if not, hit your first $1 million month, okay? And the math here, because I know guarantees can be scary. I know you may have seen like every guarantee under the sun. Like there's a right way to do this and a wrong way to do this, but just bare bones guarantee, I want to go over some simple math. So let's say, for example, that I run one offer, and in this example, we're spending $1,000, okay? So I run one offer with a guarantee, $1,000 going there, and one offer without the guarantee, $1,000 going there. And what's going to happen is that if I don't have a guarantee and I just have an offer, like I help roofers get jobs, or I help real estate agents sign more houses, cool. That's going to book me maybe one call, which, by the way, hopefully they show up. Hopefully they're qualified. And if I have those 2 checked off, hopefully I can actually close them. But you're shooting yourself in the foot, and the chances of you closing somebody is relatively low. Now, on the contrary, if you do have a guarantee, well, then your prospect's barrier of skepticism goes down at least enough for them to book a call with you. And so what's going to happen here is you're going to book 10 calls with the same amount of spend. Okay? And if you have a 20% closing rate, which is industry standard, and if you're an agency owner watching this, which you probably are, then you probably have a 30% closing rate because this is your baby and nobody can close like you. But even like just to be conservative, let's say you have a 20% closing rate. Well, that means you just signed 2 deals here. Okay? And not only that, let's be real here because I've just done this for so long. These first 5 people that book a call, they're not even going to bring up the guarantee. Do you remember the last ad you saw? Neither do they. They just want their pain solved. And if you can get them to book a call with you and you can talk with them and they can meet you and you can build trust and showcase like, wow, this guy knows his shit, I actually would want to work with him, then you're going to close more deals. So if you have a 20% closing rate, then you already closed one of these first 5. Now, these other 5, they are going to ask about the guarantee. But guess what? Like first things first, you don't have to say yes to every single person that books a call with you and wants a guarantee. You just don't. Just to give you an example, with my ecom agency, if they ask about the guarantee, we have to audit their ad account, their email, their Google ads, their SEO, whatever they're doing to make sure that we can actually fulfill on that. Same with our AI implementation agency. If they want us to like cut costs, well, then we have to take a look at everything to ensure that we can actually follow through on the guarantee. And you're going to have to say no to people, and that's okay. But for the people that are your ICP, they do have the qualifications for you to actually deliver, then it's worth taking the risk every single time, okay? But the point is, you booked 10 calls versus 1. And the chain here is that the guarantee intrigues your ICP that has no idea you exist. And if you can intrigue them enough, then you're going to get them on a call, which means more face time. And more FaceTime means that more trust is built on the call. Look, your ad's not going to build trust. Your VSL is not going to build trust. It's designed to lower the barrier for them to actually book a call with you. Like, you're never going to book a call from a VSL. You're never going to close a deal from a VSL. You're never going to close a deal directly from an ad. They have to meet you. Like, if you are offering like a high ticket B2B service, like the chances of you like closing them in the DMs is relatively low, and you might as well be optimizing for what you have the highest close rate with. And without a shadow of a doubt, this day and age, B2B high ticket service, it is book a call funnels, okay? And if they can meet you, and again, you show them that you have undeniable proof that you are incredibly good and you can diagnose their problem live on the call, you're going to close more deals. But the point is, I booked 10x the amount of calls with the guarantee versus one call without the guarantee. And just with simple math, if I can book 10x the amount of calls with the guarantee, then I think it's safe to say that I'm going to scale 10x faster compared to this guy who doesn't have a guarantee, right? By the way, if you run an agency doing between 20K and 200K a month, I work with agency owners one-on-one. I consult them. I give you all of my agency's SOPs. I basically become like a fractional co-founder. If you're interested in that, click the link below. I'll send you over a Google Doc of what that looks like. But Jordan, don't guarantees just attract shitty leads? The answer is yes, if you're being broad with your guarantee, okay? Quality starts by calling out your ICP in the ad. And I know you know this. I know you know what Andromeda is. You obviously have a good head on your shoulders if you're watching a video like this. But funny enough, you're just not being specific enough in your ad. Like, everybody says realtors doing over 10K a month, right? Like, who is that actually going to attract? That's going to attract realtors that are wanting to do 10K a month or close to doing 10K a month. A realtor doing 60K a month is going to ironically assume that if you're targeting realtors doing over 10K a month, that they are too big of a fish to actually work with you, okay? Now, if you said realtors closing at least 5 deals a month, and if you want to just like flip this to lower market and you want to like have like a lower value, then you could say realtors that aren't closing at least 5 deals a month. It really just depends on your ICP. But this is so much more specific. And ironically, if they're closing 5 deals a month, they're probably making over 10K a month. This is just a much more specific way to target your ICP. Okay? Another example of this, telehealth companies. You could say telehealth companies that have over $300,000 in payroll. I'll save you X and Y time by implementing Z. Like, you saying 300,000 in payroll, you're subconsciously disqualifying smaller telehealth companies that don't have $300,000 worth of payroll. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Your call out in the market has to be specific to who you actually serve. And it has to disqualify the people that are too small for, like, they're just going to see $300,000 in payroll. And again, they're just going to immediately disqualify themselves. Okay, now if you say 10K a month, well, then somebody doing 2K a month that wants to get to 10K a month is going to be like, okay, yeah, 10K a month. I'd love to get to 10K a month. And that's why your prospects are shitty on the calls, okay? And obviously, you can have obviously you can have a form, you can have logic in your form, you can disqualify prospects if they don't meet your criteria. You absolutely should have that. But the number one indicator is who you're actually calling out in your ad. And like, yes, you may get a higher cost per click. You may even get a higher cost per book call. But if this is truly who you serve and you have undeniable proof, case studies, testimonials that you kick ass in this industry, then ironically, you're going to get a cheaper cost per acquisition, which is recipe for scale. Now, if you have been running guarantees for a while and you've done it successfully, then you'll understand this. But a lot of you guys are going to be scared to run guarantees because refunding a client is scary, and like, your guarantee should give you a little bit of fear. Like, that's what makes it a good guarantee. But as long as your guarantee isn't like there's like downright outlandish, where it's like, I'll book you 100 calls with $1,000 in ad spend, or I'll give you my kidney. Like, you want your guarantee to be applicable to who you serve. Like, you can't take a small business doing $2,000 a month to $200,000 a month in 90 days. I mean, you can, but it's incredibly rare, and you'd be shooting yourself in the foot by having anything like this in your messaging. And again, you're just going to be attracting the worst of the worst prospects. And going back to my example of the 10 book calls, your first 5 calls, again, they're not even going to remember that you have a guarantee. And the second 5 are going to ask about the guarantee, but you don't have to close them. You get to qualify them. And if you do qualify them and they're worth taking the risk, then take the risk. Okay. And even if they're not qualified, like, I've signed multiple deals where, like, I will hop on the initial call, they won't be qualified, and I'll say, hey brother, just like do this, this, and this, just give them sauce on the call, and then they'll go implement that, and then 3 months down the road, they are qualified, and guess who's top of mind with who they want to work with? You. So it's within your best interest to make sure that you're actually signing people that you can actually help. Okay. Now, for the ones that are qualified and do ask about the guarantee, and you do take the risk, and let's just say that your guarantee is 10 booked appointments in the first 30 days, or I'll refund you, right? Like a pretty typical guarantee. Now, if you work with this person and you only get 8 qualified appointments within the first 30 days, but they went from before working with you 2 calls to now 8 calls, well, then it would be stupid for them to leave you. And 95% of the time, they're not trying to work with you so they can get a refund. They're trying to work with you so they can grow their business. Okay? So 95% of the time, if something like this happens, they're not even going to ask you about a refund. But they are within their right to ask. And so what I've done is essentially, I'll just come down right here. There's a few ways to save the actual refund, okay? So one, you just credit next month. So, hey John, you're absolutely within your right. It's in the contract. You can definitely get a refund if you want. We can just call it quits here, but we are seeing significant progress. You went from 2 qualified calls a month to 8, and I believe we can hit our goal of 10 if you just give us some more time. So what I want to do is I'm not going to invoice you for the next month. In fact, I'm going to take this first month invoice, I'm going to credit to next month invoice, and then what that's going to do is it's going to give you an extra 30 days to win it back. Like, do you need a new landing page? Do you need new ads? Do you need to optimize XYZ? And if you do really realistically only need 30 days to rebuild things and you do need more time, well then guess what? Month 3 comes along and you just resume the retainer. Now, month 2, are you break even to maybe slightly profitable because you didn't get paid? Yes. But at least you didn't have to refund month 1. You still collected and kept cash. And again, if you're confident in your service and that you just need more time, well then month 3, like, you're back to your retainer, baby. Like, that's what it's all about. And like, I can't tell you how many deals I have saved by implementing stuff like this, where you don't necessarily need to give a refund every single time morally. If they do ask for the refund, like, I'll just give you math, like, for every 20 clients we sign on average, 1 will ask about the refund. I put them through this process. 9 times out of 10, they won't. We'll just credit month 1 to month 2 because they actually want this to work. And then in the very small case that they do want the refund and they're only here for the refund, well then, brother, it's not worth the headache. Just refund them. Your life's going to be so much easier. It's probably, you're going to make more money by allocating your time towards signing more deals rather than like stressing over this. Like, it's just part of the game. You're going to have to refund people at some point. So does this still work? Yes, they work better than ever as long as you build them around exactly who you serve. So again, if you want to work with me, I have 2 CTAs in here for whatever reason. You can click the link below, and I literally just have like a Google Doc showing you what that looks like. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.